been a long journey for Andrew Papenfus to make the team at Santa Clara. He was a manager and a practice player. He left Santa Clara and he came back. But when he finally made it last season, Andrew faced an unexpected obstacle and it had nothing to do with his basketball. His journey to get back on the court this time has been even more impressive. Amanda Blackwell has the story.
The first time Andrew Papenfus played in a game for Santa Clara University, he had just won an uphill battle.
Brandon Clark to Andrew Papenfus, who lays it in.
Papenfus began his college career as a team manager for the Broncos before transferring to play Division II ball and then returning to Santa Clara to play on the practice squad. Last season as a junior, he finally received the jersey he had been coveting.
I had a dream coming out of high school that I wanted to play Division I basketball. Just never given up, worked hard in the weight room, worked hard, whenever I had a chance to, and eventually earned a spot on the team. Just finally getting there, it's just like, I made it. But, once I made it, I've never given up. I always have a new goal.
He was in position to head into his senior season as a team captain and leader.
Wall Nate!
But over the summer, while coaching a youth camp, the unthinkable happened.
I was, demonstrating a drill, and for some reason I kind of felt weird. I went to shoot a corner three. I airballed it, and I was just like, man, this is weird. And all of a sudden it felt like I pulled my hamstring, and I kind of just fell over. And then I could feel my body start to kind of convulse, and I was just like, I think I'm gonna have a seizure. I blacked out. I don't remember anything.
It felt like I was light speed running down the stairs to get there, and by the time I had gotten there, he was about halfway through the 2-minute seizure. And from that point on, it kind of felt like weeks or days till we got from one point to another, the ride to the hospital, and just trying to ascertain what had happened to him and trying to keep him calm to understand that we'll figure it out.
Papenfus was diagnosed with a grade 2 astrocytoma, a tumor near the part of his brain that controls the right side of his body. Because it was slow growing, the doctors told him he could either have it removed right away or wait until after the season was over.
I thought I was going to play. At first I made the decision, I'm going to push it back. I've worked so hard, to be here in my senior year, to actually earn minutes. And then it probably took a month of just kind of reflecting day in, day out. And then one day it just kind of came to me. My health long term is more important than 1 year of basketball.
The night before the surgery, Papenfus visited his teammates, who helped give him the strength he needed.
I was just telling them, don't worry about it, everything's gonna be okay. You're a fighter already, so I already know that it's gonna go well.
All the positive support, you're gonna be fine, we're praying for you, this, that, it just really, gave me the strength and the ability not to worry just because I knew so many people were there.
The surgery was a 5-hour-long process, and Papenfus was awake for most of the time so that the surgeons could be sure they hadn't affected his ability to move.
They'd stimulate my brain with electricity to see if they could get my foot or my arm to move. It caused me to have a little mini seizure at first, and how they stopped it is that they poured cold water on my brain, but it actually felt like they were pouring cold water on my leg. It was quite a crazy sensation.
The surgery was successful, and the next few days were filled with family and friends visiting him in the hospital, and already Papenfus was starting to feel more like himself again.
He's still kind of out of it, but he's still kind of joking around. He's talking to the nurse and stuff, so it's kind of like positive and happy energy around the room. Right
away, he just started talking about what are we going to do next now? Well, what can I do next? When do I get to physical therapy? When can I get back on the court? He felt like he was already winning just by having it removed successfully.
Once again, Papenfus is working towards a goal of playing in a game for the Santa Clara Broncos. He's not ready for action just yet, but he's back out on the floor with his team, which is a great first step.
I just wanted to try and get back to my normal routine just to help me through the process. So that was my goal, is to try and get back out on the court.
It doesn't really surprise me because that's how Andrew is. He's a persistent, hard worker, and he loves the game. That's what he wants to do.
Doctors initially told Papenfus he could begin practicing with contact 3 months after his surgery, which would fall on January 6th. It's not certain he'll be ready for that date just yet, but when he does step back on the court, it will be pure joy for the Broncos.
I want to see him. I don't care if it's the last game or whatever it is. I just want to see him step foot on that court, and I know it'll be special for him, and I know it'll be special for our whole team.
Resilience is probably the easiest word to pick, but there's something more that Andrew has that has gotten him to this point to have a chance to actually be back.
I love the competitiveness of basketball. I just love the game. So having it kind of taken away from you, especially my path, you've worked so hard to finally kind of make it at that level, be able to contribute not only off the court, but now being able to get minutes and whatever. It's been hard, so just being able to know that I've overcome something so life-changing, it's going to be joyous.
For the WCC this week, I'm Amanda Blackwell.